Hi everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we are working on our 2016 Kia Rondo. This is our car, our family vehicle. We've had it since 2015 and we've got about 100,000 kilometers on the odometer. So I think it's time to do a brake pad replacement. So that's what we're going to do today. So if I can get your attention over here, I have some brand new parts. I have brand new replacement discs for the car right here. Look at these beauties. I'll just take these out of the package and show you. So we'll be replacing the discs. So I have one here, and for those who may want to use this as a reference for themselves, this is part number 51712-3K110. Okay, and then we also have a brand new pads, and that's what's in here. So we'll also be replacing the old pads with some brand new Kia genuine product pads as well. Here are the pads. Here's some of the retainer clips. Okay, so this is not meant to be an in-depth how-to video. However, this is a perspective, or our channel's perspective, of how to go about doing a brake disc and brake pad replacement. So let us begin. We're just going to do a video. We're just going to replace the one side, but obviously once we've done the work on one side, you'll just repeat it and do it on the opposite side. After you get your vehicle up in the air off the ground, we'll then go ahead and remove the drive wheel. So I'm going to be using my impact, and we'll take off the wheel. Go. Put that down. Okay, so here are the discs, and here's the brake caliper. This device right here is the brake caliper, and in between, or in here is where the pads are located. So I have to swap out the pad on both the outside and the inside. In order to get access to the pads, which are located on both the outer and the inner side of the brake caliper, the one way to access that is to loosen the brake caliper bolt right here, right on the back here. You see where my pointer or my screwdriver is pointing? So if you loosen this bolt off, take it out completely, and then we'll loosen there's two of them. So there's one here on the top, and there's another one down here on the bottom. So if you remove one and loosen the other one, you can rotate the assembly, and just enough that you can swap the pads both out and in. So I'll show you how I'm going to do this. So I'll use a 14-inch wrench, put it on this bolt, and then loosen loosen this off. So here you go, there's the bolt. And then I'll do the same to the bottom, for the bottom bolt. Okay. Okay, so I have it loosened. Now, what I'm gonna do is, let's see, rotate this out. So I'm using just a flat blade screwdriver, and I'm just going to, as you can see, just rotate the caliper out of here. Okay. But as you can see, there's some interference there because eventually, now yeah, perhaps if let's try rotating it from bottom up instead. So I'll put this bolt back in a little bit. And then take him out completely. Maybe that way we can rotate it up this way. Did it grab here? Yeah. Okay, and then I'll rotate it up. Let's see if that works. This bolt is not rotating. Okay, so forget about my rotating idea. Let's just remove the caliper off like that. Okay, so here's the caliper. Here's the brake cylinder. So when you press on the brake pedal, brake fluid under pressure comes in through this line, enters one side of the piston, presses on the piston, which is right here, and by pressing, by this chamber pressurizing with brake fluid, it will send this piston out in this direction, and then clamp the brake pads up against the brake disc, and that enables the car to stop under braking. So what I'm going to do is just grab a little piece of wire and just tie this off maybe from the shock tower spring, just like that. Okay, so let me try to locate some wire here, or a bungee cord for that. Okay, so as you can see, caliper's out of the way, and then here you can see the location of the pads. By the way, these discs they're in still pretty good shape. I probably could have gotten away with keeping these or using these and just replace the brake pads. That might be a really good evidence of good Kia quality. But as you can see with respect to the pads, I'm glad we're here and we're doing this replacement. So anyway, since we're here, we'll change this out. So the next thing is I have to remove this bracket right here. I have to remove this in order to remove the disc itself. So in order to do that, we will remove these two rear bolts. Okay, so I'm using my 1/2 inch drive and a 17 millimeter. And we'll just remove that off of here. Okay, so there's two 17mm bolts. Take those off. Here they are. Okay, and there you go. This is the component that we wanted to remove. Okay, so we'll bring this over to the workbench. Okay, so the next thing we got to do is remove these two Phillips screws. There's one located here and one located here. I find that what works best is to use just a 1/4-inch drive with a Phillips bit. And what this allows to do is you can take the bit, put it on the screw, give it a couple of good whacks to loosen up any built-up rust, like that, and then put your drive on, and then you should be able to just, whoops, yeah, see, crack those screws loose. Okay, so these come out. So that's what we removed, is these little screws here, like that. Okay, and then here's the second one. So once you have that removed, the disc is next to come off. You may have to give it a couple of whacks in order for it to break free. So I'll turn it. So I'll just use these to protect my hearing, and then come in here, give it a whack. And there it is, off it comes. Okay. So here's the wheel hub, and here's the location where those two Phillips screws, that's where they thread into the wheel hub. So that keeps the disc nice and secure against the hub. All right. So I'll take these off, and then I will grab our new disc. Cut it out of the bag. Now ideally what you should try to avoid is getting grease and oil on the surface. So as much as possible, just try to hold the disc like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up so that this goes on like so. Okay. I'm just going to put a little bit of anti-seize paste on these threads, just so that in the future that I'm sure that they're not going to get seized in place. And then just thread those back in, and then do do that to the second one as well. Okay. And then just grab the drive, put it on forward, on, and just cinch. Give these a little bit of a torque. I don't know what the torque specification is for this, but just use common sense. Okay. All right. So that's that job. The next thing we're going to do is now get the brake pads installed to the carrier, and then we'll get that back on here. So let's go to the workbench. All right, now let's get our brake pads installed on here. Okay, so looks like there's one like this that goes here, and then this one, and there's another one here. So in order to take these out, these things should just like pop out, yeah, like that. Okay, so you just push that through. Okay, so that comes out, and then this one will go here, and I need another one of these. FF. Is FF on this? Is there one with FF? Yeah, okay, sure. And then I'll put this one with this one. Okay. So push that out. Might need the hammer because it's stuck in there. Give it a little tap. Okay, so he comes out. I'm going to use this opportunity to replace these retainer clips as well. So here's one. This is one retainer clip, and it goes back in like so. So I just push that retainer clip in there, and then I'll remove him. This one over here, just wedge that in there, pop him out, and then grab another one and just press that in place just like that. Then you line up these notches right here on the brake pad. See these little notches right here? These little square cutouts? Those square cutouts, they line up, or they go and slide into this area right here. Okay, so you take that and just like press that in. It's probably a technique, but I guess I'm not. There we go. Okay, so this just demonstrates that the brake pads, they have to just locate themselves in these grooves here, okay? And this is what it looks like on this side. And then we will do the same for this other pad. Just press him in. Just like so. Okay, here's your finished product here. Now what we'll do is we'll reinstall this back onto the car. You want to make sure too, while we're here, is that make sure that these slide pins, that they move nice and easy. nice and freely. Make sure this rubber protection grommet right here is in good condition and not letting any corrosion into the bolt slides. So these slide in and out very well, so I'm happy with that. So let's go put this back on. This goes like so. So I'm just going to carefully wiggle this back onto the rotor like so. And then you'll remember that I have to reinstall these two bolts in the backside. Before I do that, I'm just going to clean up these threads on my wire wheel, and then I'll put some anti-seize paste on that before I put those back in. Alright, so as you can see, now the threads are clean, there's no more corrosion on them. I'll come over here and I'll apply a little bit of anti-seize on these threads. Okay, slide this back on. Probably start with the bottom bolt first. Bottom bolt's in. We'll reinstall the top bolt. It's going in well. Okay, then I'll turn the disc like so. Oops. Okay, grab my socket and ratchet. Okay, and then make sure you torque those bolts. Put a reasonable amount of torque on these bolts. I'd say that's good like that. I don't know the torque spec, but use common sense. So now what I'm going to just do is squeeze the pads. Maybe I'll illustrate what I just did from the other side over here. So I just took my hands and I just squeezed the pads together so that now they're making contact with the disc. Okay, because the next step is to reinstall the caliper, and the caliper right now, the piston is extended out, right? This piston is protruding. Therefore, the distance between this surface of the piston and this part of the caliper, you know, it has to equal or be slightly larger than the distance from here and here. Okay, so sometimes what you have to do is push the piston back inward, and normally you can just do this by hand. I'll demonstrate. So I'll remove this wire. Okay, sometimes, usually you can just grab this piston here and you can just push it in by hand. Nope, looks like I have to press it in or push it in even more. So to do that, just attach this for now. Okay, so what I'll use here is my pair of channel locks, pliers. And what I want to do here is I want to just drive the caliper piston back inside the chamber just enough so that I can get the caliper back in its spot. So this might be a bit tricky, but we'll do what we can do. So I'm just grabbing this and I'm just adding a little bit of pressure. And what I'm doing is I'm just driving that piston back inside. Okay? As you can see how the piston is now almost flush with the caliper? Well, now if I go over here and I bring this over, looks like I have to do it a little bit more. Okay, so I'll just put it up here like this. Grab the pliers. You can maybe even do this with a pair of vice grips, and I'll just press that in a little bit more. There you go. And then bring this back into place. And there you go. There you go. Perfect. Okay, and then get the bolt ready. Put some anti-seize on bolt threads. And just get the bolt started here. Just like so, and then do that for the bottom bolt or the second bolt. And then reinstall him on the bottom. Okay. Then you'll take your 14mm wrench and then tighten this down. And there you have it. All we have to do now is don't forget to remove your holding wire. And there you have it. The next step will be is to reinstall the wheel. Make sure that the wheel nuts are installed with the right amount of torque on them, and lower the vehicle, and the job's done. So you're going to have to repeat this process for the other side. And if you're undertaking a brake replacement for the rear, it is similar but not exactly like this. There's a couple of other additional steps that need to be done. But in our case, or in my case, I'm only replacing these brake components on the front. The brake components in the rear on my vehicle are fine. There's still a lot of good usable material left on the brake pads. Therefore, I don't want to just replace that for no reason. So I hope you found this video useful. I'm going to sign off now. This was not a detailed how-to, but really just a snapshot how we do things here in our garage for our family vehicle. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for the next one. And until then, take care.